overall, it's perfect, dude. He says something like, "Oh yeah, try one of these F-bombs." He's like, "What's in it?" He's like, "You have nut butter," and there's like both of them. Oh hell, you can't start out with no nut butter, son.
You can't say nut butter.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was. That was a good one.
I'm still like coming through it. I never realized RZA had so much of a speech impediment. His R thing that he does with his. You can't pronounce R's.
The RZA.
Yeah, and it happens to be his name starts with an R.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
We're ready when you are, sir.
Just want to start without him?
Yeah. Make him feel like he missed out on something.
Yeah.
So,
greetings.
It's our first live stream, everybody.
Yep. Hello world, hello internet.
Hello world.
So we're live.
We're live. Oh yes. We're live to 0 viewers, but hopefully if we promote this, we'll have some, I guess all the kids these days watch podcasts on YouTube is what I hear.
That's very true.
And
I do when I'm working.
I talked to somebody who was like, yeah, are you guys on YouTube? I was like, no, it's a podcast. They're all podcast apps. Well, it's on you. I watch stuff on YouTube. I watch all the podcasts on YouTube. I'm like, damn it, Rogan, you ruined it for everybody.
Yeah. So exclusively, that's where they get their podcast.
Yeah.
Because I do like a mixed bag of everything. Like I get a lot of my phone and everything, but I also watch YouTube when I want to. Because there are certain podcasts that are obviously very much geared toward the visual, and if you listen to them on a podcast app or something, it just pisses you off because you're like, they're obviously looking at some picture on a screen and they're laughing about it, they're talking about it. I can't see the picture, assholes. I don't know what you're talking about.
They have like producers that put it up,
Totally.
I actually looked into one of those cameras where there's it's like a TV control room kind of thing where if a person talks for more than 5 seconds, the camera automatically switches to them.
No
shit. And that's what Rogan uses. Because I don't think nobody's sitting there.
I thought he was. I thought that Jamie guy was in the background just like moving everything. No. Dude, that's fucking tired.
Yeah.
Basic bitch.
Basic. That was a hell of a game.
It was amazing.
That's about as good as you get for mid-season on a Monday night game, right?
Yeah, it was incredible. Overtime and everything. It was already, it didn't even need to go into overtime to be considered a phenomenal game for me.
I almost wish it didn't.
Overtime.
Yeah, I almost wish it didn't. The way that it ended, I was like, come on.
And they were going to score and then fumbled it. And then, oh my God, just everything right down to the fucking.
It was too much.
Wire. Yeah, it was wild.
But it's been a hell of a week. Admittedly, I'm a bit of a junkie, and I've been. We should save some of this for Ira, but since he decided to sleep in, I don't know if we should. Actually,
for the record, Ira slept in this morning.
Yeah,
dick.
The first day he's late for the fucking call time to be on TV.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna pull up one link I actually was just reading this morning that was crazy. A married man leading a double life allegedly killed his girlfriend and pretended to be her on Facebook. So in the weekly,
why?
All the reasons to not be on social media, kids, he was married. So dude's married and has a girlfriend and then he takes her to Vegas. I'll give you the highlights here. And of course they use 3 names because now he's a killer. So instead of John Chapman, now he's John Matthew Chapman.
Oh God, yeah.
It's always 3 names. As soon as somebody's on the hook for murder or like a good gruesome murder, they use all 3 names.
Oh yeah, my wife is big into the murder stories and everything, and
she'll tell you.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania man who allegedly kidnapped his girlfriend and pretended to beat her while communicating with her family and friends has been arrested. So this is some psychopathic.
So he did it to cover his tracks or something? Is that kind of?
John Matthew Chapman, 39, was charged with kidnapping, obstructing administration of law, and criminal use of a communication facility. That's my communication facility. In connection with disappearance of his girlfriend, Jamie Ray Fayden. I'm going to fuck up her name. Feden. Chapman allegedly confessed to driving 33-year-old Fayden from Bethel Park, a suburb of Pittsburgh, to Las Vegas for a trip he told her was a vacation for the potential of acquiring a residence there. Like, hey, baby, we're going to move to Vegas, maybe. Police said that Chapman later confessed to zip tying her hands and feet to a signpost in the desert before suffocating her by duct taping her nose and mouth.
Fuck, that'd be a hell of a way to go.
Yeah, in the desert too. The most fucked up part, well, I don't know about the most fucked up part. The part about this that's like the extra sad twist is that she was like disabled. Yeah, she had some I'm gonna fuck this up because I'm a moron, but it's some sort of dwarfism that she had, Vater syndrome, VATER syndrome, a series of birth defects that resulted in her small stature. But Lawrence said, one of her friends, they interviewed one of her friends. She said, "Oh, it didn't limit her."
It didn't limit her, like her mental capacity or facilities or whatever you.
Yeah, she's here. I'll show you this picture. She looks like she would have been in like what was that show with the
American Horror Story?
Yeah. She looks like the American Horror Story lady that they dressed up like the little golem creature.
And I saw something on the Chive that had it was really funny too, because I just got done listening to the Joe Rogan podcast where he had that Mike Baker guy or whatever.
The CIA
famous guy. No, I mean that's the Mark or Mike. Anyway, that's not the guy. I thought he was the guy. I thought I made the same mistake, but it's a similar name. But the guy is a very, very, very famous Hollywood makeup artist. He did like Star Wars.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And Gremlins.
Rick Baker.
There you go.
Rick Baker, Monster Maker.
Yeah. All of the most famous movies he did, right? And just like 2 days after I listened to that, there was a Chive thing, and it said all these, famous makeup jobs in Hollywood, and it was, there's a whole bunch of different, probably 20 different pictures and stuff, and one of them was that chick.
Oh, really? And he did those?
No, I don't know. It wasn't necessarily that he did. There were some of them that obviously he did do, because I remember him bringing them up on the podcast and stuff. But it just hit me that girl on that American Horror Story she's like a hot chick, dude. Like, and they make her look like that.
They make her look wild. Yeah, they make her look pretty.
It's wild,
pretty messed up.
So it showed it in stages. It was like, one, she walks into the studio just looking like she normally does off the street, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then the final product. It's like, wow.
I couldn't imagine, like, I could say this as an outsider. I don't think acting is really that hard as a general thing. Mm-hmm. Elite acting is hard. Mm-hmm. The
time, the hours,
the Ed Nortons, that's hard. Mm-hmm. But regular acting, like sitcom acting, I don't think is that hard. I mean, I don't know that anybody can do it, but if you have a decent enough, here you go.
Oh.
You have a decent enough
shame.
Here, let me let him in here. Yeah. We're live, sir. We're live streaming.
Dang it.
I'm glad you got dressed up for the day.
Yeah.
I was gonna wear a suit.
That would have been hilarious.
Get yourself in the corner there.
Sorry, guys.
You're number 3 here. So if you're a little hot,
Mike.
Since you're hot,
Always.
check your mic there, sir.
Let me see if my mic is okay.
Unique.
I was always the quietest one, so when you starts to make a point, you just get so quiet. And then when I go back to
you gotta get right up on the mic, dude.
No, you gotta make them lean in.
So the acting thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's real crazy difficult to do, to be on Friends, right? Stand on the tape, repeat the bullshit somebody else wrote, they hit the laugh track button.
Friends, huh? Pick on those
God,
guys.
I hate that fucking show.
Me too.
But I think one of the more difficult things about acting would be the waiting around and the sitting. Like if you were going to be in makeup or prosthetics or something like that, to sit around that long to get into whatever look you got to be, and then try and psych yourself out to act. I think that would be the hard. At least for
still
me,
stand around and wait.
That's probably why.
No, I've heard that there are some actors in Hollywood too that are famous for just like making people wait, being late to the set, stuff.
Sure.
Like the real famous guys are just like, fuck them, I'll be there when I fucking get there.
I mean,
and then they have an entire crew of people.
Can you imagine?
I'm waiting back so you can be in the shot too. See?
Oh, thanks.
That's how much I care.
I'm not even sure where the.
Yeah. See, you should get like a table and put the camera like right here.
It's not the ideal.
Because I can't see Ira hardly at all.
That's kind of the point. I mean, since you're twins, if you can see one, you can see both.
That's true.
So it's kind of the same thing. Plus, everyone says Aaron's the hotter one, so we're good.
Well, obviously, you can see me the best. It's great.
We were talking about this guy. I guess this guy who was married and had a girlfriend on Facebook, and then drove her from Pennsylvania to Vegas, zip-tied her to a signpost and smothered her in the desert, and then was talking to her friends and family on Facebook as he was hurt.
Yeah, so I don't know if we finished that story. How long did he carry this on?
The girl's friend, I guess I can go back and look, the girl's friend had texts from who she thought was the girl, and now that dude's in jail, she's finding out like, oh no, there were texts from him the whole time. And they're
so it wasn't just Facebook, it was text messages, it was also
talking to her whole family and everybody. Yeah, let me see if I pull this up again.
So I wonder how long that went on, and what finally led to his capture? Like
Yeah, I
how
was
that
running through.
his
Oh, then check this out. He tells his real wife, "Hey, I murdered a woman because I had to." And on Facebook, his wife is listed as his sister.
Well, let's hear his
What?
reason.
Oh my gosh.
hear him out.
Yeah, and the lady he killed was deformed. So I'm blowing through all this. I don't know that I'm seeing how long he did it,
Timeline.
but well, let's see, September 29th.
So
So about a month or so, and then they caught him about a month later.
She's deformed.
She has a type of dwarfism,
Yeah.
Vader syndrome.
Does that mean that his punishment should have been?
Half as much.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. To be sympathetic, if you have a physical thing like that, I'm sure you're not everyone's first look, right? So you're probably going to meet more people like, please know my personality.
Mhm.
Okay, my personality is my strong suit. And then you like hitch yourself to this guy, like, oh
Yeah.
wow, somebody really loves me, and then you end up with a bag over your head, zip tied to a stop sign.
I wonder if she knew he was married.
I don't think anybody did, because he was telling her they were
because
planning on moving to Vegas, and
his
he
wife
drove
was
her
his-
from Pennsylvania to Vegas for looking for permanent residence.
Yeah, and his wife was his sister on social media.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
I wonder what it is mentally that makes somebody want to pull some shit like that off. You know what I mean? Because
I mean, I've seen pictures of his wife. I'm not,
like he just needed some side because it was pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, I know the lady's going through some shit right now, but as far as like just, hot or not.
Yeah. But okay, but that's one level.
What Facebook was originally intended for.
Right.
I'm taking it back old school.
That's one level to go and run around on your wife and stuff.
Yeah, but not to
Lord knows
kill somebody.
Dudes do that.
Yeah. Dudes are shitty and dudes do that.
Not even to kill them though, but to stage this elaborate second life thing.
Yeah.
Because dudes have done that throughout time too. Not very many, of course, but there have been guys that had the whole second life thing, right? And then had a whole other family that you know, you have a traveling salesman, and you go and see his family and they go back and forth.
Yeah.
I just don't.
And then the internet ruined it for them.
Oh, totally.
Some of these guys are still balls out.
Yeah, see, he tried, but I just don't understand. It's almost like the height of ambition, right? Because you have to be super fucking ambitious to
Oh
try
my
to pull
God.
it out.
How?
Because I'm way too lazy to do that. Even if I wanted to cheat on my wife or something, that'd be about it.
That's a lot of spare time.
Yeah, it's like
And
it's,
you really hate your life to the point where you're going to go to that much
Right.
trouble to concoct.
and I love my family and I love my wife and everything, but we all know as fathers and husbands and stuff, you have to make sure to make time for your family, and it's not always.
I thought he was going to say if I could fucking dwarf and get away with it. I would.
I didn't know where you were going.
It's not always easy to make sure that you're allocating the right amount of quality time for your family and stuff. So how the fuck you gonna think? Oh yeah, I'll
Obviously,
just
there's
double
no-
that shit.
There's not a lot of quality.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Just double it. Let's just make it all the time has to be family time.
It's hard enough as it is.
I mean, they were going to move to
crazy.
Vegas too. Like, of all the places to go and like set up, dude lives in Pennsylvania, wherever the other guy. How do you have a girlfriend in Vegas you're going to live with, and then a wife in Pennsylvania or wherever
Yeah.
else?
Well,
How do
It's
you?
like move to New York or something. Maybe,
So
but-
okay, and also so she's the wife was kind of ugly.
Yeah,
Well, I can't remember. Okay, so
shaped like the Liberty Bell.
he just had to kill
The
this
Liberty
girlfriend.
Bell.
He had to kill the girlfriend chick because
Like the girlfriend was exactly opposite of the wife, size wise.
Yeah.
Doesn't get more
No,
opposite.
but okay,
Variety.
so she's ugly, so he had to get a side piece. But also,
But the side piece.
she's ugly, so who cares if you get a divorce?
I think he's just really fucked up in the head, obviously.
Yeah. So why kill her? Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Like
that-
why
Why-
freak out and
like, oh my God, I might get divorced if she finds out.
yeah, let's commit murder
But
because
she's-
murder is way better than
Yeah.
divorce.
That's how you know it's fucked up.
That's the thing. It's like these people have this idea that they
Have to kill. And why would you kill her like
Well,
that?
I know.
Like
they-
zip tied and
yeah
suffocated.
they have this
That's sadistic as fuck.
I know.
this life that they have to keep this life going no matter what. It's this weird thing. I
Yeah,
think
What
that they-
life? Like he
I
wasn't
know.
a fucking
Whatever, I know.
whatever. I don't get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Life.
just normalcy. He doesn't want to change. Maybe it's like the ultimate. Like we all kind of don't really like to change, but
Yeah.
He must really
But
not
if
like
you take that and completely multiply it out,
It's intense. So you go from that guy. Okay, I got another one for you. You go from that guy who kills his girlfriend because he doesn't want his wife to find out, to this other story. Now this guy's doing the ultimate thing for his wife. I'm a 43-year-old man, and my wife is 41. We were married when I was 31 and she was 29. She never had sex before we got together.
oh yeah,
Okay, 29
Oh,
never
yeah.
had sex. There's an issue. Not even masturbation. There's all the alarm bells are ringing.
yeah.
Because of her conservative upbringing. Was
Because-
Jesus in the room with you? You can't lock your bedroom door? 29? Come on
Mormon.
now. On my part, I started masturbation in 7th grade, and I first had sex when I was 16.
So normal.
We enjoyed ourselves the last few years. After that, she seemed to lose interest. I think she had a few real orgasms, but mainly faked them. Here's the best part.
Yeah.
Now,
Clever.
I always suspected this because I am not very big. I'm about 3.5 inches erect.
3.5.
Wah, wah.
Wow.
And I tend to ejaculate quickly. There's the cherry.
And you did. And oh fuck, dude.
You can't be
Why?
3.5
Oh.
inches and blow
No.
off right away.
Why haven't you killed yourself a long time ago? What the?
No.
Yeah, there's not much left.
No.
I told her. Okay, so check this out.
I
I
gotta
told
start
her.
building model airplanes and stuff.
This
Like,
dude's like digging a. I told her about this. I told her that there's bigger men out there.
yeah, why do that?
She had no,
She had no idea.
why would
Yeah.
she be like,
This
yeah,
is the best it gets.
Haven't
Honey.
you seen-
Most guys are 2.5.
Oh my
inches.
god, it would have been for me. It would have been like that movie with the dude there in World War II, and he his little kid thinks it's all a game or something like that.
yeah, haven't you seen the statue of David? Yeah, mine's huge. Of course.
Yeah.
So check this out. He says, I told her about bigger men since she had no idea. And I said she could try another man.
Yeah. And then
Since I had 13 to 15 sex partners before we were married, and she had none. Okay, number one, if you had 13 to 15 sex partners and you got a 3.5 inch dick, you're doing something okay.
yeah, no shit.
It wasn't that you had one and everyone shunned you after
Yeah.
that. Like, I'm sure you're not living in a big city. Let's see.
You must have one hell of a
It's called
personality.
a fucking
So-
dildo. Just buy
Yeah.
a sex toy.
So he
Yeah.
offers for her to find another man, right? I wavered on this a few times as I got insecure and jealous. What do you have to do with small dick?
I mean,
But in one of my more permissive times, fucking moody, she met a man and liked him. I tried to call it off, but she wants to go forward. Should I let this happen? This is like a advice column thing.
right.
I'm afraid he will be much bigger, guaranteed,
Mhm.
and she'll enjoy him better. And I don't want to lose her as I love her. Well, you opened your fucking mouth up. She says she will keep him on the side just for the physical thing. She's like, oh, fucking finally. And she will not leave our kids and me, as the guy also has kids and wife. I'm not sure what to do.
He also has
Signed,
kids and wife.
outsized.
Outside. Yeah, that's fucking
Dude,
God.
You know
He
what's
brings it up and stuff, thinking, "Oh yeah, did you know this, honey?" She goes, "Hey, yeah, cool. Go get another dick."
Can I
He's
do
like,
that?
"Oh fuck, wait, no, I didn't think this through." Like the whole thing just.
she's like, wait, what?
I
Are
couldn't.
you? They make him
Really?
what? I like, look,
They're not all like
God,
you.
you idiot.
That's rough.
I mean,
man.
talk about digging
That's
your
really
own
rough.
grave there.
She wouldn't
Yeah.
have fucking. I mean, but you know what's interesting about men and women is she goes, oh, just for the physical part, you know, as if because I think to women that's probably just
I don't know.
that
Yeah.
matters less. It would be
Yeah.
like a guy being like, look, we're just really
Get her a
emotionally
sex toy.
Yeah.
tight. She's like my best friend in the whole world.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have sex with her. Your wife would be like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Horseshit. That's exactly what I don't want.
Yeah.
Is you being emotionally close to a woman. But for a guy, it's like, you know,
Just
you
the
wouldn't
physical,
care as
yeah.
much. You wouldn't care as much if your wife was best friends with a dude, and you're all like,
Yeah. Like I only care about the physical part.
Or like
You
we
know
know
what's
women that
funny?
are friends with gay guys. Like
Me and
that.
Yeah.
Me and Dawn started talking about this because of that. I think I told her about it, or maybe it was unrelated. But anyway, I started talking about her and her past relationships and stuff like that. And she was saying, "Oh, I dated so many guys that I wasn't very close to emotionally. They never came over to my house, for instance, and stuff. Like she dated guys for like 6 months, and like they never even came to. I thought it was super weird. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
this
cool.
kind of.
She was like, "Doesn't that make you feel better that I wasn't emotionally?"
You're like,
I was like,
"No."
"No, I care about how many dicks you had
Yeah,
gone
that's
through
what.
you. I really don't give a fuck about how
Exactly,
emotionally
that's-
close you were to them.
That's what women.
Did their
do,
dick
though.
go in there?
All
That's all I care
right,
about."
obvious then. Yeah.
And then she also said, I think I brought this up on this podcast before too. She used to say how she never sucked dick She was like, no, I don't want to do that because I always thought someday I'm going to marry some guy.
It's a good thing we're live streaming.
And he would think, he would think it's a good thing that I had less dicks in my mouth over the years. And I was like, don't really care about that. I care about how many dicks you had in your box, lady. What are you talking about? It's just super weird how we don't see it the same at all.
Yeah, why do we have the hangups that we have? Why do guys, for me, it's I totally, it's the physical thing.
I like the thinking of how that makes it better.
Yeah.
Like, no,
right.
Don't you understand? I didn't care about him at all.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I didn't care about all three of them.
It would be,
Didn't care about those dudes at all.
Oh, like, don't worry. All those guys, I only let them do me doggy style. I didn't look them in the face.
Yeah.
Well, thank God, honey.
I only did anal.
Yeah. Well, that's actually a thing apparently with.
Oh, it is.
Dude.
With religious people.
In Provo.
Yeah.
In Provo, Utah. I was just watching the video that Barstool Sports put up on their Instagram. It was so fucking, it was like this full-blown joke parody thing, of course, right? That this guy put together this whole news piece, and he dressed himself up in a tie and everything. It was like, here at Provo, blah, 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 blah. And he went through this whole like 2020 style or Dateline style like news thing about people who do, what do they call it?
I call it the Provo now.
Well, yeah, they called it marinating.
The Provo no-go.
The best one was docking. They call it docking.
Oh, yeah.
Where you slide it in.
I thought that was two dudes.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
Docking was like
dudes that are.
They say, technically speaking, that the sexual act is penis in vagina, and it needs to be moving in and out, thrusting, right?
Oh, come on.
And if you're not moving in and out, you just park that fucker in there and don't move.
Well, how does it go in? It moves in.
Yeah, no shit.
You're half done.
No
man,
shit.
And it comes out when you're done. So in and out once counts.
People are horny. They're apes, and
Especially
they want to fuck.
Especially when Mr. 3.5 Incher puts it in and out once and blows, that counts.
There you go. Yeah.
Come on.
But there are people all over Utah that are Mormon, that are in college, that are just fucking horny, and they're like, all right, just stick it in there for a while. And
Tell
let's
me
just sit
again
here
how-
for 5 minutes.
Tell me again how religion gives us our morals.
Yeah, no shit.
Tell me that.
And they go into it further, and I kind of already knew this because I heard it before, but there are several women in the Mormon faith that believe that the vagina is the real, I'm still a virgin vaginally, so you can bang me in my asshole
I know.
as many times as you want.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oral and anal doesn't count. It's like, wait a minute, how's that okay? But it's picking and choosing. That's all it is.
Totally.
It's
I mean, it's
completely like
obviously,
it just.
the spirit of the law is not that, right? But just imagine all of the
I don't want a
Mormon
guilty
shit.
conscience. So
Don't you read the fucking Bible though? Like what is
sodomy?
sodomy?
Read the Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, the Book of Mormon.
Joseph Smith
Clearly
said,
God
Joseph
really
Smith said
didn't-
anal was fine.
Yeah.
Jesus didn't.
Just imagine all it, because
They're
they're,
producing the same thing. I like that.
You're so talented.
it makes me laugh. Makes me laugh. Think about all the Mormon chicks.
Did you
Tuck me in my ass.
just
Well,
tell your wife she should have
It's
been Mormon?
so much more.
Are you Mormon?
You can just it's so much more extreme. It's so
Yeah.
much more.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's totally fine.
Just
Let me
have
get this
sex like a
vagina.
normal person and go through those experiences and learn
See,
all the
but that-
heartbreak and all
yeah.
the rejection that comes from that instead of you're gonna have a emotional connection with somebody. They're gonna park it somewhere. So you're gonna have all the rejection and breakup and all that too, and then still you're not counting yourself. Just go out.
That's what it goes to
Just
show
live
you
your
that
life.
that's what happens when you try to put restrictions on people and laws and stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
it always ends up having some horrible consequence that you never really thought.
It's like every time you try to have a workaround.
Yeah.
It ends up being a more
Like the Freakonomics guys, they call it a negative externality.
yeah. There you go. That's what anal is. A
Yeah.
negative externality. I would agree, but
Negative internality. Hey.
Yeah.
so you got anything to add
No,
to this week?
How are your
How was
thoughts?
your week since you're late? Were you up like partying or doing
I
something
was up.
meaningful last night?
working on kids' race cars
Oh,
Were you?
that
Yeah.
counts, I
I
guess.
was too.
all night.
Till about 9. You were up later than that?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
And it's even
I got
awesome.
tired and I wanted to get up early for this and not feel like shit, so I went to bed at like 10.
Well, I mean, you care, so
Yeah.
it was nice to see you here on time
Yeah.
for the first
Clearly,
live stream debut.
I know. Obviously, I hate you guys. Don't take this seriously at all.
No, I'm offended,
I know.
but I'm always offended.
Yeah.
No, do you have anything on your list this week?
Jake
You
the
don't
Flake.
only have like
Oh,
rants.
that's perfect. Jake the Flake.
Otherwise,
know.
I can get
Jake is a
into,
snowflake. He's offended by everything. Jake the Flake.
Yeah, there you go.
You are.
I'm really offended by a lot of things.
Lots
You
of
are.
stuff.
I mean, I can break into the all the shit I watched this week on the news because I definitely watched.
You
Did you
watch
watch
a
a lot of
lot
news?
of fucking news.
No, you know what I've been watching? Honestly,
What's going on?
Watches
ever?
news like a boomer over here.
I don't.
Hey.
I don't. Just okay, real quick. We talked about the boomer stuff. Did you see the Karen thing now? So you know how
well,
how the Karen supposedly is
Okay,
like the
Karen,
middle, yeah, it's like
we're not going to give you your money
the
back.
soccer
You
mom.
should have
who
read the
has-
back of the receipt.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They're calling Gen X now, my generation. They're calling it the Karen generation. I just saw it this week, and I was like, come on now, I'm the ultimate opposite of that. Like I let everything like that go, but I think generationally,
Yeah, maybe
I have to agree.
maybe you're the outlier.
I'd have to agree.
You guys
this
have
is
to.
Terrible customer
No, I
service.
Yes,
don't-
I need to speak to your manager.
Yeah.
I do watch a little bit of news. I try not to watch pundit news. I
Yeah.
try not to watch news that someone else. I like to watch news as it happens.
Yeah.
So
You're not catching Rachel Maddow and
correct.
getting all.
I do watch a little bit of Brian Williams, and I kind of sift through it a little bit, and I feel like I'm smart enough to kind of figure out when somebody's feeding me full of shit. But I've been specifically watching the impeachment hearings
Yeah. See,
Live.
I haven't been.
because I don't want anybody's
Yeah.
sound bites later. And I've been watching them in real time happen.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, obviously I'm not a Trump supporter, but I'm trying to be objective and go, okay, I'm gonna listen to these people's real words and these people's real questions on both sides and just observe. And what I'm observing is a fucking shit show. It is ridiculously like
From both sides.
hypersensitive. You know, Democrats are obviously have an agenda for sure. I mean, we wouldn't be doing this if they didn't. But I mean, I think the agenda and what they're talking, because both sides have to talk about, they go back at night and go, how do we do this again tomorrow? It is a game with really high stakes. But I'm watching the Democrats specifically not lose their shit. And they're very, as much as they can be measured, and they're very this and that. You know, for example, the other day, and I watched, and this is why I watch it live. Perfect example. They have some Republican woman, Stephanie something, who's a bulldog. She's put there on purpose. I don't know if you know who Jim Jordan is. Jim Jordan is the guy who refuses to wear a jacket. They put him on the Intelligence Committee just for these hearings. So he's a plant. He's a plant to basically stand up and beat his chest and yell, "This is bullshit."
Right.
He's that guy. This Stephanie Sanduck, whatever. She's female Jim Jordan.
Okay.
And for example, what they did is they do their opening statements. You know, this Schiff has his time to say something, and the ranking member, who's the Republican, has the same amount of time to say something. So Schiff does his intro, and this is the part where I don't care if anybody likes Adam Schiff or not. He has to preside over it. He's going to be a figurehead. You can agree with the way he goes about it or not. Schiff has no control over what those people say on camera.
Right.
They can say that they coerced him, and all, but those people are on camera, and if they don't want to say it, they don't have to. So I watch him give his opening statements, and then they go to Devin Nunes, who's the ranking member for the Republicans, who I just recently found out used to be a cow farmer. So I guess you really can make it anywhere. But he gets up there, and they do this game where he goes, "I'd like to yield my time to this Stephanie lady." So she starts talking, and Schiff's like, "No, you're not recognized. Gentlewoman, you're not recognized." He's like hitting them. "Why are you interrupting me? You're trying to silence me." And they're doing this huge thing for the cameras. And he says, "No." And he doesn't raise his voice. He goes, "House Resolution 660, these are the rules. You're only allowed to yield your time to minority counsel, to your lawyer to ask questions. You're not allowed to yield to another member of Congress. This is the 5th time you're silent." And she's making this huge thing, obviously for an audience of one. You know what I mean? Like, somebody picked me, Mr. Trump, put me in your cabinet. And they get to the end of the day, and then the news people that are going to recap everything, they bring up the rules. And the rules that both sides agreed to say, when you're doing your opening statement, you're not allowed to yield any time to anyone except your lawyer.
They tried to get away with one, and then they didn't, and then.
And so then on the sound bites, it's Schiff is trying to silence this, and I'm watching.
Because that's all you needed was her getting pissed off on camera and knowing that people were only going to catch the sound bites anyway. Got what we needed.
So that is 100,000% why I watch it as much as I can live, and not that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to form my own opinion, and honestly, dude's fucked. Like,
You think so?
oh fuck, he did it. He did it all. Like, there are so many people on both sides. They're like, yeah, he did. Even when the ambassador that he kicked out the other day was on the stand, he's tweeting shit. Is it disparaging? Yes. Is it threatening? Maybe, maybe not. But the fact that he's doing it then and there, and then none of the Republicans for the rest of the day defend that thing. They're like, dude, really? Can you shut the fuck up? We're trying to help you here.
He was tweeting him while he was on the stand?
While she's on the stand saying, like, everywhere she went is bad. She ruins it. Like, witness intimidation, probably. You know, he's like, I got freedom of speech. Like, that's not really how that works. But, okay. Even if it's not intimidation, the fact that the guy they're defending does shit during the thing that they can't defend him for. And all they're doing is, like...
And he's not in the room, right? Is he in the room?
No, he's supposed to be doing his goddamn job.
Yeah.
And he's not. Anyway, so that's why I watch it, and I'm trying to be as neutral as I can. I kind of have my opinion on how I feel, and everybody's saying this dude did it. This guy the Sondland guy who was the kind of the in-between, who basically paid a bunch of money to get his job, is changing the story now a third time because he's trying to protect him, and all these other people are like, no, he did this. And he's like, did he really do it? Yeah, he did that too. So this is the third time he's going to change his testimony, and now Wednesday that dude's going to get grilled. And they're basically got him to the point of like, okay, were you lying then or are you lying now?
Yeah.
That on top of Roger Stone going to jail from the Mueller thing. There's like 3 people that have been severely convicted from the Mueller investigation that is not any part of this. And look, I'm talking like I know everything. I don't know everything. I'm trying to be objective and watch it. But everybody around him is going down. Rudy's about to get indicted on a bunch of shit.
Really?
Oh, fuck yeah. Southern District of New York is investigating Rudy because the business stuff he was trying to put forward in Ukraine, the 2 Lev and Igor dudes that got busted at the airport trying to take off with a one-way ticket.
Oh, I didn't even know anything about that.
Yeah, 2 of Rudy's guys were at the airport in New York trying to go back to Russia with one-way tickets and got arrested at the airport. It's like, it's out
What do they hold him for? I mean,
for funneling money into all these Republican PACs through Russia. Like, hey, hello. One of the things Rudy was trying to do was push a liquefied natural gas company, supposedly. This is all allegedly. Trying to push through these 2 associates to open a liquefied natural gas company in Ukraine. Well, Rudy supposedly, and they're going to find out, and that's why he's lawyering the fuck up, was set to make a ton of money on that deal. And he's Trump's personal attorney, not a U.S. appointed anything. So it is a house of cards. And it's fascinating. It's like a car crash where you got your hand on you're looking through your fingers.
Yeah.
So bad, or how Ira watches skate porn. Same way. But it's fascinating to me on like, this is the ultimate kind of, you could argue unscripted or scripted. Some of it's scripted, but the ultimate kind of reality show. And it's kind of, I'm going to be interesting to see how it comes, but I don't see how dude is going to be president again. I just don't. Even if he beats this, he's going to get impeached. Even if it's symbolic, he's going to get impeached by the House. He might not get ousted, but enough of this other testimony comes out, and finally I think some people are going to be like, dude, I can't defend you anymore. Mm-hmm. Because they got party at some point to worry about. And one of Mike Pence's aides just testified a bunch of shit too, so he's going to... it's a house of cards. They just got to move that joker on the bottom and it's all coming down. But that's my opinion. I think he's going to quit. I think he has to quit at a certain point.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I don't think it's going to make any difference to my life. I probably wouldn't know. I really don't. I don't even know what anyone's talking about. I literally have no clue even what he's in trouble for. But I don't even, and I don't want to know. So I think it's interesting. I know. Exactly. Yeah. I don't want to know. Why? So all of the memes going around, the dude that
Epstein didn't kill himself.
Oh god, that one was good.
So no, I didn't really look into that much. I mean, I just kind of knew, just a bird's eye view of that. Kind of, you even kind of go, no, there's no way. This was there's foul play.
Oh yeah. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, when you actually do look into it, it like that Matt Taibbi was on with Rogan, and they were talking about it, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Who's Matt Taibbi?
It's like the last
one. Reporter.
It's the newest.
Yeah.
So, but all of the stuff that had to happen.
Yeah, Rogan dropped like 6 of them in a fucking day. I'm like, man, They don't drive that much. Come on.
Yeah, 3 hours apiece too.
Yeah, so all of the stuff that happened,
Donnell's on two of them.
it
Yeah.
just so happened that the security camera accidentally turned off.
It's like crime, it's
all
crime
this
movie stuff.
It's like,
And the two guards weren't
Dude.
checking on them. Now they're offering the guards plea deals. You know that? The two guards that
Are
were
you
there,
serious?
they're offering them plea deals because they didn't do their job because somebody fucking paid them to walk away.
it's so fucking crazy
Bill
because
Clinton. It's
because
Clinton.
Oh, fuck yeah. I think it's
Behind it all.
hilarious how everybody in the world knows
we all know
that the
it.
Clintons are fucking offing people.
And we all, but
all of us are just
we
like, yeah,
all
well,
know it,
Catch
but
'em.
it's also none of us have seen it on the news.
Right.
Not one fucking news
Yeah.
channel, paper, anything
Yeah.
will run this story.
The Illuminati.
dude, they don't want to find, they
They
don't want to
don't
get
want
themselves
it.
off,
Yeah,
man.
it's so fascinating.
Back to the Trump thing real fast. What's funny to me is Trump, of course, and all his people are like, well, Obama did this and this and that. And I'm going, wait a minute. That's not what we're talking about. That's not part of the discussion. If you thought Obama should, you should have brought it up when he did it.
Yeah.
And if a Democrat gets in now and this is the new level where we're going to just, then that's fine.
People do that all
It
the
doesn't
time.
negate all of this though.
Right.
And to your thing about, that Prince Andrew, he's the only one who came out and was like, yeah, I shouldn't have been friends with that guy. And what he's trying to do is save face. But all these guys are all old as fuck. Bill Clinton's probably got 10 more years unless he pulls a Carter and just.
Yeah, have you seen him? I mean, look how fucking old Bill Clinton looks.
Yeah, we've seen Jimmy
He
Carter.
looks
But
like
there.
Jimmy Carter is
He's
like
brain surgery. He's
building
like
houses with, have you seen those pictures? He's got Band-Aids all over his fucking head and everything. It looks like he's a crypt keeper and he's like, oh, out there with a,
Bill Clinton's just banging 16-year-olds somewhere.
yeah, Bill Clinton looks bad.
And then Hillary had like
Bloodshot eyes and shit.
Hillary said something this week on some, I'm reading the headline, but it was like, oh, all these people are telling me to run, and I'm like, don't you fucking dare, don't you dare even try
An
that.
idiot. That would be the worst idea.
It would sink everything. But that would be that Trump would love that. Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it'd be over. Then he wouldn't get
Again?
re-election. He'd get it again for sure. Because even Democrats hate her at this point.
Yeah, the head of the crime syndicate. That was
So
the other
sorry,
thing.
you were talking Epstein didn't kill himself.
Well, yeah, that's really it. It's just, why isn't the news talking about it?
I saw another one the other day, and it didn't say Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. It said Jeffrey Epstein was murdered by the Clinton crime syndicate. So now it's going even more like obvious.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're not trying to be at all veiled about this. The fucking Clintons murdered this motherfucker.
Do you think it's more that Bill Clinton dipped his wick in every 16-year-old that Epstein had on the island? Or do you think that it's the fact that he was a pedophile and of the worst kind? And so everybody's like, hey, we don't deserve to keep talking about it, or both?
I also, well,
Because
I'll
if
throw a
Epstein
third
was
in there,
innocent,
and
if Epstein was
that's-
innocent and hung himself, supposedly, I think there would be way more news coverage. Like, we got to get to the bottom of this. Everyone knows that guy was a piece of shit. He'd been convicted before for it, and so they're like, yeah, even if he didn't, you had it coming. I kind of feel like that's part of it.
Sure, but I also think that if this started, if they really did begin some kind of investigation, the amount of other things that would be found out would be astronomical. It would just be this issue that opened up Pandora's box.
Yeah, and it's not just the Clintons; it's all their buddies and stuff like that.
It would be
I think Trump would be
murder.
all over it too, as much as he hates Clinton.
Right.
To be like, hey, but I bet you they all have the same fucking friends at that level.
Totally.
And I bet he's like, if I bring this up, they're gonna drag me into this thing. Or Don Jr. probably has some,
You know what I think it
some
is?
provo sex with those chicks on the island.
Yeah.
Provost.
It's like a keeping up with the Joneses type thing, right? Like I've said before, when we do the racing thing and stuff, right? I started it a couple of years ago, and I go out to the track and I see all these people with all this crazy money they spent, right? And like,
I'll never do that.
people are nuts, right? And now look at us, we're
working on this fucking car
the worst. We have 10 cars between the two of us
You
now.
guys are ridiculous.
10.
This is actually an intervention. I was gonna say.
Yeah. So, but you just you get into these groups, and now all of a sudden things don't seem all that weird anymore. It's like it's perfectly normal to
You're
go
in that
out
bubble, yeah.
and buy $100,000 more home and get a $10,000 trailer and all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Oh god.
So I think that when you become rich to the level that the Clintons are and the Bushes are and Trumps and all that kind of stuff, you get into to that community, and now.
And that shit's normal.
Oh, we go to this island and we fuck 16-year-olds.
We use the
We
same
do?
thing.
Oh, yeah, okay. And it starts to get
Yeah.
normal, and
Yeah.
these guys are like, yeah, this is a life that rich people live now. We go onto this Epstein Island and we have ourselves a good fucking time, and it's not a big deal. You just lose you start to lose the common sense of being a normal person.
Anything.
And
Even
so then
drug dealer. I mean, in any kind of
completely.
That reminds me of the South Park episode where ironically it is about
the NAMBLA one or something.
Yes. But they go and talk to all these priests and they're all like, they don't understand. They're what are we supposed to do if we can't fuck little boys? They just like it never occurred to them. Like, wait, huh? That it must be what they're like. It's like, no, these are like 16-year-old, but 15, 16 years old, but they're really poor.
Yeah.
They don't even have any parents. I don't understand. I don't understand what's the problem here.
So there's hundreds of people that are in this exclusive club, and the Clintons, among other people, I'm sure, really do not want their names getting out that they're doing fucked up shit.
You can't run in those circles for that many years and not be corrupted as fuck. You just can't. That's the way you stay in those circles on both sides, on all sides. It's money, it's deceit, it's a bunch of illegal shit.
Wasn't there a horror movie?
It's okay, but it's like everyone kind of goes, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Wasn't there a horror movie where a guy, a real rich guy, brought his buddy over to like Southeast Asia somewhere where they got to murder
God, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Like the Purge Thai Island or whatever.
Yeah, it was called Hostel, I think, wasn't it?
Was it?
Oh my God.
Epic.
But yeah, it's kind of like, well, everybody knows that in Southeast Asia you can go and find yourself a young prostitute for sure. Guys have been doing it for years, right? But these guys took it to another level, and it was a place where you could go and you got this prostitute that now instead of fucking her, you just get to kill her.
That's insane.
I mean, you got to think
8mm.
But I honestly wonder. It's like, yeah, okay, maybe I'm being a little crazy, but I just wonder if anything like that has ever. I mean, the history of the world, all the rich people and powerful people and stuff. Has anyone ever done the thing where, I want to go out and hunt. I've hunted every animal on the planet, and now I'm bored. Now send me a human out there and have him run around in the brush. So
that was on the movie Maverick.
Totally sure.
Was it? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That was so great.
He wanted to hunt and kill an Indian.
And wasn't
it like
white man?
was it a poker movie or something?
Yeah, that movie was
It
awesome.
was actually a great movie, but
And it had what was his name? The guy that played the Indian chief guy, who wasn't really an Indian chief guy.
The native guy's hilarious. I can't remember his name though.
Oh yeah, it's the guy in Dances with Wolves, right?
Yeah. But he plays
prototypical Indian guy.
Opposite of this respectable.
Three names.
He's just.
Yeah.
Does he have three names?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, maybe.
I think I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, but he's
not even
so
like
funny
native.
because he acts
It's like
all.
Danny Trejo in the headdress.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's really native, but in this movie, it's all.
They want him to come off as a very, very whitewashed guy. That's like, oh yeah, shit, I'm supposed to talk like an Indian. Oh, white man.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, so fucking
That's
hot.
like everybody else.
Yeah, almost. Maybe 90s, maybe early 90s. But yeah, it's kind of like a Blazing Saddles type of scenario there, right? With obviously some racial stuff there, but it's fucking hilarious.
Speaking of 80s, so Disney Plus came out this week, the new streaming thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I got that for the kids. It's like $7, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I watched this one Disney movie when I was a kid, and I don't know if you guys remember it. It's called Flight of the Navigator.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That was a great
With the spaceship, where the kid.
I didn't know that was Disney.
That's a Disney movie, right?
Wait. Is that the one where the kid plays the video game and stuff and he gets sucked into it almost kind of?
No.
Not sucked into it.
Where they
aliens come in and they grab them or something. You beat the record on this video game, so you must be really fucking good at flying
and then
space.
he's flying the thing, and then he just like goes around on this little tour trying to get away from everybody. And all I remember is the computer. He would tell the computer to do something and be like compliance, and then it would do whatever it did.
Yeah,
that was super like Disney movie. So when you said 80s, I was flipping through this week because Disney Plus at first when they were coming out, they're gonna crush Netflix, and they're like every Disney thing we've ever made is gonna be out.
That's why I wanna do it. That sounds amazing.
It's not everything.
What?
It's not everything. On day one, they were like, yeah, but not this and not this.
But not what? What were they holding back on?
There's a lot that's not on there, right?
What?
And it's all going to come out, but it's like a slower. They didn't want to bust it. They want to be 3.5 incher and bust it right in the beginning, right? So, but that movie I looked up was one of the ones on there. So it's all.
It is available.
Movies. It's all Marvel movies, all Pixar, all
Star
Disney,
Wars,
all Star Wars, all National Geographic. Eventually, right now it's like select. Like Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 are there. Toy Story 4 is not there. And then there's like some of the Disney movies are there, some aren't. But what's fascinating to me is they're putting warnings on some of the old shit, like Dumbo or whatever one had the three crows.
Yeah.
Stuff that was obviously
Yeah.
racist as fuck.
The black crows are like, hey, job turkey. Like, oh shit. Or Peter Pan with the natives and stuff on.
Yeah. So they put some warnings and stuff like, and then there's some stuff they're not even. There's one movie I think called Song of the South. It was like a black and white, no pun intended, like a black and white live action movie.
Oh, really?
But it was overtly racist, and they're like, we're not even going to put that one on there.
Well, you know Splash Mountain, right? Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Splash Mountain, and there's that whole,
The Brer, whatever.
the Briar, yeah, all that Briar Bear, Briar Rabbit, and all that.
Super racist.
It's funny because you can't find that movie anywhere. It's like, wait a minute, this seems familiar. Seems like something I've seen before. I've been on the ride a dozen times. I really like the feel of it.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy racist.
They've pretty much wiped the internet clean of any trace of that movie because it was so fucking racist.
Yeah. But
like, what?
So,
Really?
Yeah, Google it, dude. It's fucking wild.
But Flight of the Navigator is on Disney Plus, and even
what about that? Is that super racist?
No, that's all white kids. It's worth it.
Gotcha.
It's all white kids.
No, it's a good movie though. Like,
but
I was 9 when it came out. You guys were probably 4 or 5, but it was one of those things where that movie was just, it stood out to me, and I was like, oh, that was Disney, and I looked, and it's available now. So like Up is on there. All the Pixar stuff's there now.
Yeah.
But
The Sword and the Stone.
I don't think that's not there yet.
Really?
Shut up.
No.
I think
That's the one.
No, like
I
Beauty and the
could've
Beast
sworn
isn't on there.
Little
Or Beauty and the
Mermaid.
Beast's on there. Sleeping Beauty's on there.
Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid's on
Band-
there.
Band-
Frozen's on there.
Lady and the
Moana's on there.
Tramp.
Yeah.
Lady and the Tramp, man.
And the live action Lady and the
Minute
Tramp.
since I've seen
So
it.
we're
Yeah.
Disney movies all excited now.
Yeah.
But I recommend it. I gave the kid the remote. She got lost in it for a minute, but
Nice.
Flight of the Navigator's there. I highly recommend it. I spend my Sunday afternoon.
I remember that being a good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
If I think I'm gonna wait until after this next racing trip and stuff because I got too much to do getting ready for it. But because I feel like if I got that, I would lose an entire day. It's like, well, sweet.
Oh yeah.
Hey boys, come here. Look at this movie.
Even just
And they're gonna
even
hate it.
just
Like, why don't you like
surfing.
this?
Oh, I know. There was certain
I
ones like
hate the movies.
I wanted to watch the original Lion King because they're both very similar, right? Have you seen the new one?
I have
live
not.
action or not live action? It's all CGI anyway. But I was like, guys, let's watch this one first, and then we can watch the other one because
The one with Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
yeah, and
Or
who
JTT is like, oh.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and then who was his the voice when he was grown up was
I don't know.
that heartthrob guy that was on fucking
He's on Blossom.
Blossom. God
I don't
damn
know.
it.
Joey Lawrence?
Yeah, Joey Lawrence was
The low
grown
guy?
up Simba.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I wanted to watch the original. Don got a package deal where you could buy them both.
I did see that.
iTunes or
You
whatever.
couldn't even buy the new one. You had to buy both
Yeah.
of them, I think.
So I turned on the
Good on
first
you,
one,
Disney.
and they totally were like, no, this is dog shit. Like they were not interested at all.
Did you duct tape him to the couch and make him watch
Yeah,
it?
of course. But then we watched
Is it nice?
the new one, and they were all into it and stuff. It's like I cannot get them interested in the old stuff.
It is funny.
You
And
can
the
tell the
funny
difference
thing
in the
is-
animation, though. I didn't think.
Totally.
In my mind, I'm like, that's animated. That's animated.
Yeah.
You watch it now, and it's like standard definition in 4K.
Yeah.
Oh, it's completely different.
But I remember having the thought sitting in the movie theater watching that Lion King movie 20 whatever years ago and being blown the fuck away.
Yeah.
At how amazing that
Yeah.
animation was. Like just having this thought, like we have come so far. Look at how incredible that is. And then now it's just like, dog shit.
It is interesting though how it's not always just the technology, because that Gemini Man thing flopped, and that's all technology. That
What's
the Will
Gemini?
Smith one that just came out recently,
Oh
where
yeah.
they make him young and all that,
Yeah.
and there's a ton of money into it, and it looks visually like, wow, this looks really good. I don't know if the storyline's just dog shit, and I haven't seen it, so
They lost me on the trailer when he's riding a dirt
it
bike
looks like Looper, but with Will Smith.
and he swings the dirt bike around and hits the bad guy
Oh, yeah.
with the back tire
Yeah.
of the dirt bike, and I go, no,
No,
forget it.
I'm out.
A little too fantastical. It's like a
There was-
Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was a
jumping back.
commercial.
Yeah.
There was a commercial I saw last night. This gal goes into a bar. It's actually Charlize Theron.
Oh, the Budweiser
The
one.
Budweiser one.
Yeah, the black Budweiser.
Goes
Black.
into a, and there's this guy, and he's woo, and he's winning and darts and fooling. He's like, yeah, and he's being all loud, obnoxious, and she's kind of like, all right. I'm taking this guy on, right? So she goes and she starts playing pool, and she whoops his ass in pool, and she whoops his ass in darts. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome, you know? And then these fucking assholes can't just stop it at that, right? You can't just make it realistic. The next scene, she's fucking arm wrestling the dude.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. With the
God
beer in the
damn
other
it.
hand. Yeah, with the beer in the
Why
other hand.
can't it's so I'm just like, oh fuck you guys, come on. It's like
I
all
was
these
with you until
movies,
then. Yeah.
all these movies with the girl who's the badass.
Yeah.
And she just practically single-handedly beats the living fuck out of 10 dudes. And you're like, yeah, there are things.
I mean, it's not different than Rocky, though, or any of those where he takes a beating and then comes back and they're all pretty fantastical.
They're all pretty fantastical. But
are you telling me Charlize Theron can't?
we all look, all of us, we could kill with our bare hands 99% of women that we come in contact with. Every now and then, you're going to come in contact with Misha fucking Tate or Amanda Nunes, and you'll probably get rocked. But it's Rocky. Rocky is a fucking
fucked up.
Well, yeah, for sure.
That's a
just
maybe. It's a maybe for me.
I just don't. It to me.
Yeah, why?
Now
Why have that as a?
Just can women just be good at what women are good at? Women are really good at
here we
certain
go.
Here
we go. We're almost an hour in.
I actually, can I tell you this?
Misogynist
This is why he's not on camera.
Ira's misogynist corner. Yeah, that's the misogynist corner over there.
I love watching.
Misogyny corner.
I love watching women's sports.
Yeah.
In certain ones, like I
like
love watching
volleyball.
Track and field. That doesn't count.
How dare you?
I do too, by the
Always
way.
have. Why?
I get. Speaking of Amanda Nunes, when Amanda Nunes beat Cyborg,
yeah,
and you could hear. I think I mentioned this on the podcast. I get goosebumps when you hear Joe Rogan going, "Oh," and you hear the crowd.
Yeah.
The crowd is fucking going bananas every time she just boom, and they're like, "Ah!" The whole fucking. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's awesome. Look at this girl fucking swing. Women's track and field, women's soccer. There's these great moments where they just of triumph. It's just it transcends fucking love. But don't go showing us these situations that are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
come on,
because
man.
there are real ones out there that are truly
that are
awesome. Now you have to go to your
how,
But why does it
I
have
like
to
how it took
be?
Charlize to arm wrestle the dude for him to be like, commercials are fake.
No, it's what they're doing. It's just.
I get it. All commercials do that though.
Is it because
they're all fantastical?
Well, no.
Is it because they're being too fantastical, or is it because you think
It's not
that
like they
they're
said Budweiser
trying to push a narrative?
It wasn't supposed to be funny. It wasn't so fantastical. It wasn't Charlize Theron lifting up a house. It wasn't.
I get it.
It
That was
it
the only
wasn't
thing
obvious.
that was
So
the
it
only
wasn't
thing
supposed
that
to be
was
funny?
It wasn't Charlize Theron from the movie with Will Smith, Hancock or whatever. It was just. It wasn't supposed to be funny.
I know what you're saying.
That's the point.
Everything was realistic until that.
It
very
was.
last
She
thing.
was
I
just.
have
She
to
was
look at
just.
this.
She was just good at pool and good at darts. Okay, it wasn't fantastical. And then she's arm wrestling a dude. And we're all just supposed to be like, yeah.
That's how
It's
good Budweiser Black is, though. That's what they're trying to say.
Yeah, I guess it just gives
That's
you
the point.
superpowers. And that could be. That could be.
Or maybe that was,
Budweiser Frogs is still.
maybe that was
Like,
the
if you
3.5
start typing
inch guy
Budweiser.
that she arm wrestled.
That was one of the things, the Budweiser Frogs, that got better and better. So certain commercials, they'll keep trying something,
Yeah.
and it was never as good
Yeah.
as like the first or second.
Yeah.
That kept fucking ramping up,
Yeah.
dude, because then the lizards showed up. The freaking they call them lizards, but they're chameleons, you know. But
Yeah.
The
which
guy
is
who-
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one, Frankie and Louie.
No, the iguanas.
Frankie and they're not iguanas. They're actually, if you really look at it,
Okay, sorry.
they are. What did I say there? They are chameleons.
Oh yeah.
Aaron's watching the ad.
I'm
She's
watching
to
it.
the end.
So she's like,
She starts kicking away gas. The best part though is she has, I think, when she's arm wrestling, she has a beer in the other hand.
oh yeah, she's playing pool one-handed.
Yeah, because she has a beer.
Sets
in
her
hand.
beer down on inside of the pool table like a total dickhead.
Yeah.
Can you imagine putting your
On the felt.
See, this is supposed to be funny, Ira. What are you talking about?
Ira just hates women, so nothing's funny to him.
That maybe.
This is all realistic.
I think it was intentionally.
I also think she probably bought stock in Budweiser, and she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna."
I don't see.
It is likely.
I thought it was
likely.
well done.
Okay.
I don't see what the problem is with
Okay.
that.
Well,
I
That's
liked
why this
it.
is
Fuck you!
misogyny
Stop
corner.
trying to call me out.
The
You
next.
assholes! I hate you both.
I'm gonna move the camera over here, and then we'll just put a sign that says misogyny corner.
Sick and tired. Sick and
No,
tired.
think
of
about
We'll
all
get you a
of the.
crown.
Budweiser also had the What's Up guys and stuff.
Oh,
I mean,
that.
there were
That was bad.
no way that was good.
Bad. That was real bad.
No way. Well, because
That's
that.
gone pretty far too.
Well, yeah, that like I mean I don't know how many, but there
I was
was
just
there was
talking
at
about
least
this
like
morning
half a
about
dozen.
commercials that have lasted, like the Allstate one where the little kids, when they say Allstate, it's Dennis Haysbert's voice.
Yeah.
Ulster. Those went on for quite a while. The Mayhem.
Fuck do you
We
know
saw
that?
another
Yeah, the
Mayhem
Mayhem
Right,
one. Yeah.
no,
That was
that's
Tina Fey, and he's licking her face. That's
Yeah, and you're like,
awesome.
oh wow, okay. That we were talking, because that's what
Yeah.
started the conversation. Like those have gone on for a long time now, and they must be successful because they keep finding new ones to do,
Yeah.
like the Geico
Gecko, and then Geico. Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Dennis Haysbert doing the Allstate stuff.
That's hilarious how you know that guy's name.
Dennis
It's
Haysbert.
I don't know anybody's name.
His
it's the
name
guy
is not
from
Dennis
Major League.
Haysbert. Yeah, that's his name, Rafael Soriano. Read that shit to me, man.
Fuck you, Joe Boo.
Well,
I'll
yeah,
do it
that's
myself.
I know who
His
he
name
is. I just
Rafael
don't-
Soriano. It's not fucking
Dennis.
Dennis. No.
I don't know
You know,
people's names to the level that you do. You're encyclopedia brain.
I just remember names, I guess, sometimes.
Yeah.
Dennis Haysbert.
Goddamn
how do you
genius.
not know? He's
He's
we call Isaac Hayes
but
chef.
he's
all
the
time,
dude
too.
on Major League. That's how
Yeah, that
people
was
know
30
him.
years ago. He's been in.
He doesn't have a name, Jake. As far as I'm concerned, he's the big ass black dude that freaking
Typecast.
hits home runs.
He's not Morgan Freeman when it comes to narrating.
Yeah,
he's,
Morgan
he's
Freeman.
not Morgan Freeman black guy.
Yeah.
Morgan
As
Freeman
far as like voice
is the
over
best.
stuff.
The other dude that was really on the Ken Burns Civil War documentary, that dude, who the fuck that is?
Isn't it the same guy for all the Ken Burns?
No, it is not. He always has
Probably
different
Dennis
guys.
Haysbert.
No way. He's always. Yeah. He has that same guy on all of them that I've seen.
No, he does not. How dare you, sir?
Dude,
Was the Civil War one a different one?
the
or are they all
Prohibition
different?
one, the Vietnam War,
No.
those two are definitely the
The
same.
West was actually a
The
decent
West?
one. The West was a native dude. He's a native dude. He's an Indian. He's a
Dude, you are
he's
fucking
like
up, bud.
He's a Navajo or something.
First, you were wrong about funny Charlize Theron commercials.
Yeah, you're wrong all over.
I am an
across the
idiot.
board.
I will admit,
We know we're all.
I'm a
idiots.
fu-
We
when
just
I
have-
posted-
that's why this is so fun.
when I posted on social media about our latest episode, I said, keep in mind, I am a fucking moron.
Dude, a new explained.
So most of the things I say in
episode,
here,
the
you
future of
cannot.
meat.
Yeah, I watched that last night.
Uh,
It's really good. Basically, nobody can
Grace
eat
did
like
that
they're gonna.
too.
So, but I was gonna tell Lyndon. Lyndon really wants to be a writer. She enjoys writing. She enjoys
Nice.
art. So she'll probably be a cartoonist or some shit. But
There you go.
she's very talented, and I wanted to
So
show
her.
her not writing. Ironically,
The West is a Ken Burns production, but it's a film by Stephen Ives.
well, I'll be. I want to say
What a
though.
twisted web.
I want to say that Stephen Ives does a lot of his stuff. I think
Oh, really?
that's yeah.
Oh, because he directed it, maybe.
Maybe he does all
Maybe.
of it, as Aaron was saying.
That's likely. He
I watched the Ken Burns baseball. Was really good. That was like one of the first ones.
Really?
And yeah,
Yeah,
Ken Burns
that's
did
one of
on
the
baseball.
least-
That's really good.
That's one of the least
How do
popular.
you
But I guess
find
if you're a
out who
hardcore baseball fan.
narrates it? I gotta Google it later. Dude, I swear that guy's voice is iconic. There's this one guy, and I always thought it was Ken Burns himself.
Maybe
but
it
I
is
found
iconic.
out the other day that it's a different
But
guy
at
that he
the
has
very-
narrate like all of his films.
At the very beginning, it's fucking great. It's so like back when
Beginning
you
of
were
what?
trying to the Civil War doc.
Oh,
So when you were trying to write back in high school, your English teacher was trying to teach you, like, look, when you start an article, short story, anything, a novel,
mhm,
you've got to suck them in with that first
mhm.
sentence. And in the Civil War doc, it's in the spring of 1861, Wilbur McLean had enough. You remember that? And I can't. He doesn't say it like that. He says it way fucking better than I just said.
Yeah.
You know.
Peter Coyote narrates.
Yes.
Narrates
That's
all
the
Cameron
West.
stuff.
No, he does not do.
He's listing. They list the ones that he narrated. The West, Prohibition, the Dust Bowl, the Roosevelt,
The Dust Bowl,
history, the Vietnam War, the
Vietnam War.
Now, the one you're
Fine,
saying is which one?
The Civil War one.
Okay, I'll
It's someone
find out.
else. It's
See,
not Peter Coyote.
Coyote.
And I said that with a Japanese.
I will find out.
Peter.
Oh,
Google
Peter.
knows all. David McCullough. So
Yeah.
you're right, and you're almost
I
right.
am right.
I think I'm mostly right, and he's a little bit right.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
David McCullough was the narrator who held it together.
Yeah, man, that was so great.
I don't have. Ken
Just
Burns stuff is
he's
so
got
long.
this weird. His voice is, you would almost consider it kind of dorky and maybe even a hint of annoying because it's kind of nasally.
The Civil War one?
Yes.
Maybe I
He
haven't
goes,
seen that one.
he had enough because two great armies had converged on his farm and blah, blah, blah.
Oh.
So, have you seen a lot of the? Obviously not. If you're not watching some of this stuff, but a lot of these.
News? No.
No. But a lot of just the
Current events?
talking heads, comedian, whoever. The conversation about is another civil war possible keeps coming up.
I know.
I think it's a buzzword right now.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think people are going to take to the streets, but I do think there is a faction or group, and it might be dude like who had a girlfriend on Facebook and had a wife and hates his life and was weaving all this. I think it's people with nothing to lose, people who maybe don't really care that much about stuff other than trying to be involved in something. If shit went really, really, really sideways, would take the streets. But I think it's such a small percentage of people that I personally don't think we'd ever get to a North and South again, or liberals and Republicans going out armed in the street.
Mhm.
I don't think it would come to that. But a lot of people are throwing that out there as a trap for conversation
Scare
or something.
tactic.
Yeah, and
I say
and
no,
but it's
but
on both sides. It's
I
not
think-
just.
I say no at first, but I think it is. I mean, Antifa goes around smashing people in the head with bike
Batteries
locks
and shit, bike locks.
Yeah.
That's the thing where I go, well, mate, but I still think that's
At
a small
least,
enough group.
at the very least, I hope it's not like this guerrilla warfare with rifles and shit. I really hope it's like Gangs of New York, where it's fucking
Blades.
knives.
It's all blades.
It's all
Straight up on the
knives and
street.
clubs.
Face to
Yeah.
It's just knives and clubs and bike locks and socks, baby.
face.
And they just fucking, it's just right there in the street and just settle it.
Could be.
That would be
Knives.
way
But-
better.
So, but you have historians and stuff, right, that say that any major, what's the word I'm looking for, like the,
Catalyst.
yeah, I mean a country, a superpower in
Okay.
the world, right? Like Rome fell, right, and all this kind of stuff. It's like eventually our turn is coming, right? But 200, 300, 400, 500 years ago, it was just different than it is now,
Yeah.
right? And maybe it's possible that we go the route of England or something, right? Where they just kind of quietly shrunk away from being this world superpower,
Yeah.
and now they're, but there was never a big upheaval. There was never, of course they're involved in World War II, and
But it wasn't
suffered
like leading
incredible. Yeah, but it wasn't like,
They kinda started
so and so came in and they toppled the regime of Great Britain of the English monarchy or whatever. It's just like they just kind of slunk down and turned into this country of England that's no longer very great, but it's like whatever. Fine.
It's amazing though to think how much they still benefit from those years,
Oh, yeah.
years
Yeah.
of their empire. I don't remember what I read, but it is. I mean, it's way more than you realize.
Mhm.
The natural resources and things that they have control over.
Well, it's like
that
they
they're
just
still
gave
getting
Hong Kong
just real
back.
quietly.
They gave Hong Kong back their independence. What, like it was in our lifetime, and it was 20 years ago,
Britain?
15, 20 years ago. I mean, they just let go of India not too long ago. I mean, it's like that was all very recent.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm sure they're still benefiting greatly.
I'm looking. There was something I read this morning about China that was like something they were doing that was so bad that I'm gonna fuck this. I just read this morning. Supposedly, there's a bunch of documents coming out that China has Muslim people in camps.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be something.
No,
China would do.
like internment camps for Muslim people, like in huge numbers. And again, I'd have to try and find something, but it was this morning and maybe yesterday I just started seeing headlines, and it made me start to think like, okay,
like maybe we're not as far advanced.
I'm gonna, well, no,
away
not,
from
even,
this shit,
not even that. It made me think of, we were so quick to go rescue people in Nazi camp stuff. China's fucking big.
Mm-hmm.
Are we like, if this, again, I'm a moron, so I don't know if this is a buzzword thing or if this is actually something they're going to find out. Let's assume the worst, because that's what we do, and say that China has Muslims in camps in large numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna be the police and go in and go to war or fuck with China on that because it's the right thing to do, or do we retreat and protect our economic interests? Because it's way different than World War II.
I can tell you what I think we're going to do. We're going to go.
I'll tell you what I think
Yeah,
too.
we're going to go the route of
The economic
Damn it.
way.
Well, great radio there, buddy.
Jerusalem, the Jews, the
The fucking Gaza Strip and everything. Jews and Gentiles. No, Jews
Just
and
saying.
Palestinians.
yeah, we'll cover up and protect all kinds of fucking evil
Atrocities.
that those dudes.
Well, what do we do with Saudi Arabia?
Oh, yeah.
Saudi Arabia has just been laying waste to Yemen for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
And we're like,
Absolutely
I
no
don't know what
mercy.
you want me to do.
They're our ally, you know. It's like
Leaked files expose how China organized mass detentions of Muslims.
what's the source on that?
This is New York Times. There's a bunch of documents in Chinese though.
I
that
don't
they
trust it
found.
unless it's Babylon Bee or The Onion.
Oh yeah.
They always see. I always
Fuck
thought
off, New York
China.
Times.
I get the idea that China's pretty
These are quotes from Chinese documents. Like they have stuff that I can't. It looks like a bunch
decently
of tattoos.
tolerant. It totally does. That's so weird. It looks like all those tattoos that people have on their bodies
Supposedly,
that are supposed to mean
internment camps.
God can't judge me.
I don't know what city.
Only
I
God
can't
can
say
do
it.
Yeah.
Rapidly after the appointment in August 2016. So since 2018, up to 1 million Muslims in camps in China. Hundreds of thousands, if not 1 million.
I wonder.
You gotta wonder why China's doing that.
They don't fucking like them for some reason.
I know.
China said they closed their camps in April. So they, of course, they totally
We
did.
so totally believe them.
Because China doesn't seem to be very politically charged or
They're religiously
Religiously.
tolerant.
allowed
Yeah.
to be. I don't think you're allowed to be charged. Like you can't say shit anywhere. So
well,
there's
that's
no
true.
room for
They're
those
still very
discussions.
communist, right? They're still very
completely.
yeah.
It's completely communist.
Yeah, that's weird.
You can't say anything anywhere. So I mean,
But it's like
like all the Disney and stuff make movies just for China, where they take all that shit
That's
out
true.
so that they.
Yeah,
can
that's
be,
true.
You know,
yeah,
what
that
the
makes a
NBA
lot of
is,
sense now. Yeah. Of
I don't
course
know.
they would be.
I mean, if they said that they got rid of them, then we have to believe it.
They're
Of course.
the opposite of Europe. Europe is like, no. Like
Mhm.
they give Muslims a pass time and time again. It's
Mhm.
like they're a minority and they have been,
Persecuted.
persecuted. And so now look up Tommy Robinson.
Tommy Robinson.
Tommy Robinson is in jail right now.
Is that the guy that was in the Rocky movie?
His crime.
That's Tommy
I
Morrison.
don't.
Yeah. Tommy good.
And then he got AIDS, didn't he?
What?
Yeah.
He did.
Tommy
real
Morrison
life?
got AIDS and had to quit fighting.
That
But
is
the
a
funny thing was, yeah,
sad
he was a
story.
real fighter.
Yeah,
I
and he was
totally
good.
forget about that.
He was a freak. Like
Tommy
he,
Robinson.
physically, like he.
Are
Yeah.
you talking about Toy Robinson?
Tommy Robinson is a British.
Tony Robinson.
He's a British advocate.
Tony Robbins.
Tony Robinson is what comes up.
So
Sir to Anthony
He
Robinson.
was
name
an
is-
advocate.
his name is Tony. He's an advocate. So he is
For the
a
Muslims?
staunch. No, he's not.
Oh.
He is against the Muslims because he's a staunch conservative
Right.
and he's all about British pride and all that. So basically, what happened was he saw that,
Oh, I fat fingered that. It
they
is
were
Tommy.
that
You're right on something.
they were
today.
looking. Hey, look at that. They were looking the other way.
His name's not even
When-
Tommy. Stephen Yaxley Lennon, known as Tommy Robinson.
Ah,
You piece of shit.
He's got
Sorry.
I didn't need. Yeah, that's
He's
weird.
got a.
British far right anti-Islam activist. I think we're talking about the right guy now.
Yeah.
So he's in jail for.
Because what he said was, why don't? So all you people are looking at us.
I
As,
mean,
you
you
know,
people.
the media. He said that the media was all over the quote unquote far right guys. He said, why don't you investigate the Muslim pedophilia ring that's going on? Huh? You guys gonna say anything about that? And everyone was like, oh,
in the
you
UK.
piece of shit. Yeah, and they just they put them on trial.
So you're saying all Muslims are pedophiles? You racist piece of shit.
Yeah. So what they did was they stuck. So he went to a trial. The thing about
I've
British
never heard about
law,
it. I'm like reading the headlines right now.
yeah.
Amazon refuses to stop selling
The shitty
merchandise.
thing is there are Muslims, a lot of Muslims that work at the jail, right? They're cooks and shit like that. They try to poison him. They try to throw boiling water in his face. They are out and out trying to kill this guy in a big fucking way. So
God,
he goes back to jail.
He looks like the Ben Shapiro of England.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
So he's already in jail, and this already happened. Dude lost like 40 pounds because he refused to eat anything but cans of tuna, which he knew couldn't really.
Right,
be
they weren't
tampered
really
with.
tampered with. At least it wouldn't be obvious.
Yeah, and so now that was only for a couple of months, I think, or maybe a couple weeks, but they just sentenced him to like 8 months or something, and so he had to like say goodbye to his fucking.
So what was his
little
crime?
boy?
Being a racist?
His crime, technically, if I'm not
Being a man,
mistaken,
Aaron,
his
come
crime was it was contempt.
Contempt of court, 2017. 3 months prison, suspended, something 18 months. That was from 2017.
18 months.
They got him on a technicality.
He basically, him and his friends, they sentenced a Muslim to jail time, and they were in there. This guy was really bad, apparently, and they were
The Muslim guy?
They were.
He was a pedophile guy.
Yeah, something. I don't know if he was necessarily, but they were in the courtroom, and as soon as they slammed the gavel down, him and his buddies said, "God save the Queen," and the fucking judge was like, "What did you say?" And like. And it was like, you keep your mouth shut while you're in the old bill. They call it the old bill, the old Bailey. That's the courthouse.
That's like
And
when John
they
Oliver
just
shows
have-
clips of Parliament like freaking out and how
Mhm.
civil they still are, even though
They're
they're fighting.
they just have these rules where you can do what you want out in the streets, but you keep your fucking mouth shut when you're at the old bill, and you
Wow.
can get in big trouble.
So that's what they did, and that's what sent him to jail for 18
I'm
months.
Sounds
pretty
that's
sure
how
because
Judge
he
Judy
had-
runs her courtroom, too.
because he had other prior convictions where he spoke up and wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
Well, then you've been warned. You
I
did that
think-
on purpose then.
Yeah, well, and
Seriously.
you're kind of blaming the victim, you asshole.
No, if you've been warned for that before, and then you purposefully time to an outburst for that, then fuck you, man. Sorry, you know the rules. That's the rules.
It's like he.
Right, but he.
I don't know if
When you
18 months
can-
is the correct. Okay,
Sure,
But
but this is an injustice.
He's playing a martyr, is what you're
You're
saying. Like he
doing
knew
it
what he
on
was
purpose.
doing,
Yes,
and knew he was going to end up in jail.
exactly. He did it
Now
on
he's trying to
purpose.
play the
It's
martyr.
like Jane Fonda going to get arrested a few weeks ago at some fucking protest. It's like you're 80
She
years
did?
old. Yes, she went out to some climate change protest and on purpose got arrested because she did 40 fucking years ago, and everybody's like, "Fuck Jane Fonda." So she was a headline then. She's not. It was exactly. She wasn't a headline again. She went out to some climate change rally and got arrested on purpose. This to me again. This is the first time hearing it. It feels the same thing.
Yeah.
They got an agenda. Fuck off.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Yeah, little kids, you piece of shit.
Well, he should have thought of that before he tried to be a fucking headline.
That's okay. I'm sure he'll be fine.
That's his career choice, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna get a book deal out of it, and he's gonna get an
He'll
endorsement
prob- I mean,
from Chicken of the
if-
Sea.
If he lives through this, if he lives
Uh,
through an 18-month prison term, it'll be a fucking miracle. He's
Yeah.
he's pretty much a dead man. That's the problem, is that he's
Oh,
not
now
just
you're
going to go to jail.
Tommy didn't hang himself.
He's just, yeah, exactly. He's just going to go to jail, and they're gonna figure out a way to. I mean, they have 18 months to figure it out. They almost did it in a few weeks. That's the thing that's fucked up.
You're right. No, that is fucked up. I'm with you there.
It's not going to jail is one thing. Yeah, fuck you, exactly. I would say, well, you know,
Yeah, but what you're saying
he's not
is
just going to jail.
essentially
And
the
then
guy has a life sentence now,
Yeah.
right? Because he's gonna fucking die for having an opinion, an outspoken opinion
Is it
about
possible
Muslims.
to take out a
Right.
life insurance policy on a British person? Should try that.
That's gotta be. No, not you ain't gonna get one on him because they guarantee. That's how you know if he's gonna die or not. Is you call Allstate or New York Life.
It's Dennis Haysbert at Allstate.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
If you'd like to speak with a representative, press 1. If you'd like to speak about your policy, press 2. If you want to talk about Tommy, whatever, please hang up.
Hang up.
You're not interested.
Guaranteed.
That'd be good. Take out a policy on somebody like that.
Yeah, it's just it's sad to me because that's the day that we're living in. That's the extreme of woke people, of outrage culture.
That essentially you can find yourself imprisoned for having the wrong opinions. Yeah, maybe. But
he spoke.
Jake is still saying, he kind of went to jail on purpose. But
I understand that. But that should not be a fucking law.
Agree.
It's
wait. Hold on.
The idea that you can't that if you speak up
in court,
that you go to fucking that's stupid.
I don't think that's stupid.
I think it's really
to hear things out.
That's order is overrated.
As soon as you go outside on the steps, you can say God save the Queen all you want. You can say how stupid it was. You can talk shit about that. Should all be fine. But if you're in there playing by the rules, because what if you were the guy on the stand and someone else was in there? You don't want distractions from your case either. It's got to be fair all the way around. You've got to have some semblance of
there don't. You could issue fines. You could do whatever.
Well, maybe they did the first couple times he did it. Obviously, you said he did it before.
Whether you're in Jerusalem, or you're in Berlin, or you're in, Akron, Ohio.
Same thing.
Nobody.
Shout out to Akron, Ohio.
That's you can just look up any court case that happens to be on camera that you can see like outrage. Okay. It happens all the time. That's why they have a gavel and say order in the court, and people are rah, 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 rah. That it happens. It's not, dude. People shouldn't be thrown in jail for that.
It does happen.
It happens worldwide.
The first time they do it, they don't throw you in prison.
They wouldn't have. They also
go, hey, don't do that again. And then when you do it again, they go, hey, we fucking told you don't do that again. Then the third time, like, all right, dickhead, you're going to prison.
Yeah, I just don't think that the government should have that much power. I think.
Well, that's a different discussion. I could.
That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying.
You don't agree governments have any power, though.
Well,
you want to go back to hunting and gathering.
Don't want to go back to hunting and gathering. Do not.
Government should fear its.
People don't realize what government is. People don't know what fucking human nature is.
Well, we switched a long time ago to, and it was gradual, but we switched over from, we were in charge of these people and we tell them what to do for us and they serve a purpose to.
Absolutely.
We have
the government's in charge.
We have the wool.
The government ain't supposed to be in charge of shit.
Rose-colored glasses on that. We just figured this is the way it's supposed to be. It was never supposed to be this way.
Because we were good.
It's like I said about Trump voters.
Unemployment and the economy is good, so we're like,
right. We're comfortable. But it's like I said about anybody. When you vote somebody in, you then, as soon as they do get into office, if you voted for them, you should turn it around. You should practically hate that guy now.
Yeah.
You should go, okay, now I fucking voted for you. You made me promises. Now you better not go back on it. But that's not what happens at all. Anything that guy does, it could be the opposite of what he said he would do. And they go, well,
that's my guy. That's my guy.
And it's like,
these people are not our friends.
I think that's people that get screen time, so to speak. I don't think that's the majority of people. I do think there is a huge faction, but those are the people that get like when someone gets robbed and they interview the guy that can say 3 sentences barely and they put him on the news. It's those people who give them the sound bites they want and perpetuate the advertising dollars for the news. So those people get time to say that shit, I think.
Look at, for instance, the license tabs bill that just went through here in the state of Washington.
I'm watching that.
License tabs bill goes through and stuff, and then all of a sudden the governor,
it goes through.
The will of the people all vote for this and go, yeah, we want it. It's your job to enact the laws that we want. We voted it in, and what do they all do? Like the governor and 2 other people in power.
Seattle, the mayor of Seattle.
They're like, fine. Okay, you're gonna vote like that. We're gonna shut down all these other government programs. We're gonna do all this shit, and they're basically making it so that they're trying to overturn the legislation that we, the people, voted for in this state. It's fucking infuriating.
For anybody that doesn't know, Washington just passed a law that car tabs can't be over $30 per vehicle because they did a bunch of levies a couple of years ago where all the public transportation that's trying to expand was basically hitched to registration, and so it was getting to be like it was in California when I was paying $500 per car in California, and everybody said enough's enough. They tried to tie it to like, well, all the bridges are going to fall down then. Everyone's like, fuck it, doesn't matter, go and do it. Here's the other, I've said this a million times, $375 million last year in tax from all the legal weed. Where the fuck is that money?
Yeah.
Why can't you put that towards the car tabs? Where is that money? The highest alcohol tax in any state is in Washington. Where's that money go? That's where I'm not a fucking liberal. Where does it go? All these people with the car tab, they can go to that. But no, we need more. We need more. We need more.
A revenue generating machine. That's all they think about. They get it. Just like I was saying earlier, right? Yeah. You get into your circle, and now this is keeping up with the jails. This is everyday life. When you're in government at that level, your job is to find the fucking money. And do not let go of it.
Correct.
We need more. We need more. We need more. They call it revenue.
There was just a surplus.
It's called revenue. It's like a business. They call it revenue, just like any other
money a year ago. Or the city of Seattle had extra money. They had to vote on what to do with it, and they voted. And the fucking mayor was like, "Well, I don't like that decision. We're going to try and move it over here." Like, no. City council voted on what to do with extra money.
Yeah, it's exactly like what Aaron said. The whole attitude of these people is that they are rulers. There is a video going around Facebook where it showed this guy in a courtroom. It was a city meeting, right?
City council meeting or whatever.
They have one every month, right here in Enumclaw, don't they?
Yeah.
Where you can go. It's open forum.
I went there once, and I was the only person in the audience.
They haven't made the Valley too.
I was trying to get the dog park going.
There's always a few.
Good job. Good job. So this guy walks up and he says, it's
a shitty dog park.
Frankly, so he starts talking about something, and they basically they silence him. They tell him to shut up. They blah blah blah. And he just stops where he was saying. He goes, your attitude here is completely backwards. You're supposed to represent me, and here you guys all sit up there. As a matter of fact, your seats are all raised up above ours. He's like you lord over us like you're monarchy, like you're this class of people who are untouchable, and you rule over us. You realize that's not supposed to be the way it is, right? And
did you get a hard on when you heard that?
Well, yeah, but I thought, that's a great point. Nobody else.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
I totally agree. And the sad thing is it doesn't come up unless we talk about it and we go, and he kind of shrugs their shoulders and move on, because what are you going to do about it? That's the part that sucks. And I completely agree with you there. It's definitely gotten out of hand to a point where it's where do we start to try to fix this thing? And it's both sides. There's no party that's responsible for it. It's the people in general who've allowed it to get to this point. But when we go back to this, when you don't have term limits on Congress, then how you get those people in there that you think represent you, and then they go, fuck you, I'm going to do what I want. You can't get them out of there, because most normal people with that opinion of that guy at city council can't run for something because he's got a job to do and kids to feed and all that stuff. The people that have time to do that are the narcissists who get all that dirty money and get past the city council into the state government to get to that point. And then you're in that weird slipstream of that group that you're talking about where that's your normal. And I don't know how you break that up.
I don't know if the system perpetuates itself too, because of, like I was saying, I think last week, where it's like you have your guy that you support, right? And it's like Republicans will be totally fine with spending money as long as it's on the military, right? Things like that.
Or tax breaks for rich people.
Yeah, and so when your guy is in office, then you go ahead and allow the government to take more power, because you're like, we do actually need to wiretap people to make sure that terrorism doesn't happen again, because 9/11, right? Yeah. And then
with the no expiration date, we're just cool with all that now.
But what we don't understand is that now you've created a precedent, and now the next guy comes into office who you don't like, but now he has the same fucking power because you just carte blanche handed the government all this power.
I think that's the argument. That's the. It's not the first argument, but it should be. I think that's the only real thing during all this impeachment stuff that needs to be paid attention to. Where okay, assuming for the second, we're coming to the end here, assuming everything he did is what he really did. He got another country to try and meddle in an election.
Mhm.
If that's all true, and it looks to be, if not 90% true, that supposedly is the thing where, okay, if you can't impeach a president for this, then what do you impeach him for?
Mhm.
And again, if Obama did it, if Clinton did it, they should be under the same microscope. But to your point, to keep it from getting to that being the new normal, I think this is the time to go,
Needs to
hold
happen.
the fuck on.
Yeah.
Nobody should be allowed to do this. It's not going to move the needle, so to speak, very much, and it does create a lot of issues here, obviously. But I do think at some point we have to, put your moral pants on, I guess. I don't know where you draw the line,
Mhm.
but this feels like, all right, somewhere we got to say something.
Maybe they are going to, this is like a self-destruction thing they've gotten so far, that because, let's face it, Obama probably did do some shady
Oh, of
shit.
course
So
he
did
did.
Bush. So all those
All
people.
the
So
drones, of
now,
course he did.
maybe now this becomes the new normal. And instead of just sitting back there complaining about everything, now,
Impeach each one of them.
so
So whatever, they're going to go right after whatever.
they'll
Democrats
just
are right
focus
away.
on all the really bad shit, and pretty soon it'll be obvious to people that, look, this whole ruling class is all completely
I'm
corrupt.
cool with that.
You know,
I'm cool with
it's
no
gotta
president.
help. Yeah, just keep on, just spend all your time and resources just trying to oust each other, and we'll all just, go along
We'll
our
just
merry
keep
way.
working.
It's like I said, if all of us just ignore them and none of us voted, I just think eventually it would turn into a joke anyway. And it's like, oh, the government? Yeah,
I mean,
nobody
it's kinda
cares
there,
about
though.
them.
Nobody really votes anyway. It's kind of
I don't
there.
fucking
already.
We all
fuck
vote
you.
for Ford or Chevy.
Yeah.
We vote for the houses that we want to buy and the things that we
Starbucks
want.
or Tully's
Right,
or
right.
Pepsi or Coke.
That's what really matters, because that's who's innovating. That's what's making the world a better place. Amazon.com, that's who.
Amazon.com. Shout out to Amazon.com. Our show brought to you today by.
Yeah. Supposedly he's trying to buy the Seahawks too. I don't know.
Hey Jeff, how about throw us some dollars? To
Yeah,
sponsor?
how about sponsors and YPod?
Yeah.
Jeff.
We'll throw the Amazon name out there.
Yeah, so
You could benefit from some of our reach.
Yeah.
Stefan Molyneux said one time, what if they threw a government and nobody showed up?
That's exactly my point.
You know who's going to show up though? It's the people who need it, who can't survive on their own, who need the handout, and maybe could survive but refuse to for whatever reason. It's going to be the bottom people who drag down on the resources who show up and vote, and then it's like, well, shit, they can't have the only voice. I think that's what kind of keeps it there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you said blades, knives, locks, and socks, right?
Clubs.
Wait,
All right,
blades,
let's do it.
clubs, locks, and socks.
Yeah.
All
Let's
right.
do it, folks.
Let's go.
May 2020.
Have it.
It's going down.
Throw a rock
Gear
every
up.
now and then. Right? Climb your ass up on
Throw a rock every now and then.
climb your ass up that light pole and smash that red light camera with the hammer. You know you want to.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Let's fucking do it. There was a meme going around that
I got
showed a
one of
guy.
those on the
It showed a guy hanging on a freaking with a ball peen hammer, ready to smash a red light camera, right? And then it showed something right next to it with the dude draped in an American flag with his camo hat and standing there, and it said, maybe, just maybe, this guy, the guy with the ball peen hammer, is a real patriot. I was like, fuck yeah.
Oh, that's another reason.
That is my opinion in a nutshell.
All right, guys. Well, we'll leave it there. Throw a rock every now and then. Don't be afraid to throw. What was it?
Just throw a rock every now and then.
Throw a rock every now and then. I like that.
You heard it here.
Disobey. Disobey.
See you later.
And then I got people calling me, and for my kids are somewhere else, and their babysitter is calling.
Your kids are somewhere else?
They're over at Uncle Jake's.
Oh, really?
So I better go and give them a call.